If someone told me my wedding day would end with flames crawling across the ceiling, screaming guests, and my husband fighting for his life, I would have laughed. But this is the story I never imagined I'd have to tell. My name is Emily Carter, and I want to take you back to the night that was supposed to be the most beautiful moment of my life. The night I married the man I had dreamed about since I was 19. A night filled with fairy lights, soft music, the scent of roses, eventually, the smell of burning wood, melting plastic, and the sound of 1,000 guests running for their lives. I'm telling this story not just because it changed me forever, but because if even one person learned something from what happened that night, maybe one life could be saved. So if you're watching this, please stay till the end. What I'm about to say might save someone you love. People say weddings are stressful, but mine felt like a dream. The soft golden drapes, the chandelier glowing like melted honey, the polished wooden floor reflecting every candlelight, everything looked unreal. And then there was Daniel, my husband, my best friend, a man whose smile alone could calm a storm inside me. When he held my hand before the ceremony, he whispered, "Emily, tonight is just the beginning. Whatever happens in this life, I promise I'll always stand beside you." I didn't know those words would haunt me later. The hall was full, family, friends, co-workers, people from both of our small towns. Around 1,000 guests, laughing, hugging, showing that kind of warm community. Joy only small towns in America truly understand. Kids chasing each other between tables. Old friends dancing before the music even started. My mom crying every 5 minutes because her baby girl is all grown up. Everything felt perfect. Not just perfect, magical. I remember thinking if heaven had a sound, this would be it. The live band played soft jazz. The waiter served warm bread and creamy pasta. People toasted to us. People cried for us. People celebrated our love. I didn't know it was the calm before the storm. When the lights dimmed and the host announced, "Ladies and gentlemen, the bride and groom's first dance," my heart fluttered the way it did on our very first date. Daniel took my hand, pulled me gently toward the center of the floor, and whispered, "You ready to make everyone cry?" He always said things like this, playful, sweet, the kind of teasing that made me fall in love with him again and again. Our song began, "Can't Help Falling in Love." It's classic, slow, timeless. The kind of song that feels like it floats in your blood. People clapped softly. Lights shimmered above us like 1,000 tiny stars. We moved slowly, just the two of us, lost in each other. I remember thinking nothing in the world can ruin this moment. But something did, something no one saw coming. As we spun gently, I heard the sound that would change everything, a tiny pop. Like a firecracker someone lit too close. At first, I ignored it. The DJ ignored it. Everybody ignored it. Weddings are loud, right? One little sound means nothing. But then I saw Daniel's eyes shift, not at me, but behind me. Smile faded. His hand tightened around my waist. "Emily," he whispered, "there's something wrong with the ceiling." Before I could turn around, the second pop hit, louder, sharper, the kind that vibrates in your bones. Then I smelled its smoke. Not the soft, romantic kind from candles. The harsh chemical kind that tells you something is burning where it shouldn't be. Someone to this day, I don't know who decided indoor fireworks would make our dance extra magical. They weren't part of the plan. They weren't approved. But someone lit them anyway. And just 3 feet above us, the ceiling drapes caught fire. Sparks rained down like angry stars, glowing, red, hungry. People screamed, chairs fell. The band dropped their instruments, and above us the fire spread like a living creature tasting something it liked. The fabric burned fast. Too fast? A long line of flames raced across the ceiling, turning our beautiful hall into a glowing, collapsing inferno. Heat blasted down on us. The air tightened. Children cried. Mothers shouted. Tables overturned. My perfect night was gone. Everyone ran toward the exits. But the hall had too many people, not enough doors, and way too much fear. The smoke thickened within seconds. People coughed, screamed, pushed, tripped, fell. The air was so black it felt like the night itself dropped from the sky. I held Daniel's hands so tightly my fingers went numb. "Stay with me," cried. But he didn't answer. His eyes were watering. His lungs were choking. The fire above us grew louder, angrier. I could feel the heat kissing the back of my neck like a warning dress. The one my mother spent months choosing with me brushed the burning floor. The hem began to melt, and that's when I realized we were fighting for our lives. Daniel pulled me toward the main exit. But the crowd was packed so tightly it felt like trying to push through a wall of panicked bodies. People weren't just running, they were fighting for air, for life, for any space to breathe. Smoke rolled across the ceiling like a dark ocean. It dropped lower and lower, until everyone was coughing, crying, shouting names they couldn't even hear. I felt my heart slam against my ribs. My chest burned. Every breath felt like swallowing fire instead of air. "Stay with me," Daniel choked out. He wiped my tears, even though he couldn't stop his own. We weren't just scared, we were terrified as we neared the exit. The crowd surged forward so violently that my hand slipped from Daniel's. "Daniel!" I screamed. He tried to push back toward me, but the smoke was too thick. The flames roared louder. People shoved, tripped, fell between us, then someone slammed into my side. A shoulder, a body, I don't even know. And just like that, Daniel disappeared behind a wall of running people. I screamed until my throat burned. "Daniel, please." But my voice drowned inside the chaos. The fire alarm shrieked. The roof groaned. The fire cracked like lightning. My legs shook. My hands trembled. My chest felt like it was collapsing from the smoke. I was losing him. On the same night, I became his wife. I had almost reached the exit when I heard a horrifying sound. Crock. Boom. Half the burning ceiling crashed down near the dance floor. It's the same place Daniel and I had shared our first dance minutes earlier. Screams exploded across the hall. Dust and embers shot into the air. More fire poured down like molten rain. The floor shook under my feet. The lights went out. It felt like the world was ending at that moment. I knew if I didn't get out, I wouldn't survive the next minute. A stranger grabbed my arm. "Come on, move!" He yelled. He dragged me toward the emergency door. The metal handle was burning hot. The paint was blistered. I pushed anyway, and then fresh air. Cold, sharp, real air. I fell to my knees outside the hall, coughing so violently it felt like my lungs were ripping apart, but I wasn't thinking about myself. I only screamed one thing. "Daniel, where's my husband? Somebody help him." Outside, chaos was everywhere. Ambulances, firefighters, people crying, people calling out names. People lying on the grass trying to breathe. Smoke poured from every window. The once beautiful hall now looked like a monster made of fire. I grabbed every firefighter who passed me, almost falling to my knees. "My husband?" "Dark suit, brown hair. His name is Daniel. Please find him." One firefighter looked at me, eyes soft but stern. "Ma'am, we're doing everything we can. Please stay back. It's too dangerous inside." But I couldn't stay back. I pushed toward the entrance until two paramedics gently held me. "Please." I begged, my voice shaking. "I can't lose him. Not tonight. Not ever." After what felt like hours, though it was probably minutes, I saw firefighters coming out with several people. Some were coughing, some unconscious, some burned, and then I saw him, Daniel, my husband. My best friend. His shirt was covered in ash. His face blackened with smoke. His eyes half open, barely focused. He wasn't walking. Two firefighters held him up under his arms. I ran to him, tears blinding me. "Daniel, baby, I'm here. I'm right here." He looked at me, weak, broken, but alive. His voice was a faint whisper. "I told you. I'd always stand beside you." I collapsed into him, sobbing into his chest as the paramedics gently lowered him onto a stretcher. For a moment, Nothing else existed. Not the fire. Not the screams. Not the chaos, just him. Breathing, alive. The hospital lights were cold and too bright. The quietness felt wrong after the nightmare we had just survived. Daniel lay in the bed, hooked to oxygen. His chest rose and fell gently, rhythmically. I sat beside him, holding his hand like it was the last safe thing in the world. Doctors told me. He inhaled a dangerous amount of smoke but would recover. He needed rest. He needed oxygen, but he was safe, and I thanked God more times than I could count. News. RTS said over 100 people died. Families were destroyed. Children lost parents. Parents lost children. The hall owners were sued. The person who lit the illegal fireworks was never clearly identified. For weeks, I woke up gasping for air, dreaming of flames. Daniel had nightmares too. We went to therapy together. Holding each other through every dark memory, our wedding album survived the fire, but the photos feel like ghosts of a night that ended in smoke. Yet, in some strange, painful, beautiful way, the tragedy brought us closer than ever. We learned the real meaning of love, not flowers, not dances, not pictures, but choosing each other even when the world burns down around you. If you're watching this right now, please remember something. Life can change in one spark, 1 second, 1 breath. Cherish the people you love. Hold them tighter. Say the things you're scared to say. Don't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow is never promised, and please never use fireworks indoors. Never ignore safety rules. Never assume it won't happen to us. It happened to me on my wedding night. On the night I should have danced into forever. If this story touched you, if you felt even a heartbeat of what I lived through, please watch the full video on my channel. Your support helps me keep telling real stories that matter. And share this with someone you love. It might save a life. Thank you. From a wife who almost lost everything, Emily.